The check engine light came on 8 months ago. You still haven't looked at what it means. You just turned up the radio. Level 1, $9 an hour. Your car is a 2009 Corolla with 214,000 miles and a passenger door that only opens from the outside. You budget $40 a week for gas and put in $20 at a time because filling the tank means a bill goes unpaid somewhere else. The mechanic quotes you $600 for the transmission work. You don't have $600, you have $80 and a payday 6 days out. You drive it anyway. You listen for the sound that means today's the day it dies completely, and some mornings you sit in the driver's seat for a full 10 seconds before you turn the key, bracing for silence instead of an engine. Level 2, $34,000 a year. You finance your first car with a real interest rate, not predatory, not generous. 9.4% on a used Civic, 60 months, $286 a month. The finance manager at the dealership talks fast, slides 4 documents in front of you, and taps the signature line before you've read the second paragraph. You sign because stopping to read feels like admitting you don't understand what you're agreeing to, and admitting that in front of him feels worse than the debt itself. The car is reliable. You feel something close to pride the first time you drive it home. 3 months in, you check the amortization schedule out of curiosity and realize $190 of your $286 payment is interest. You've paid $570 and only $96 of it touched the actual car. You close the tab. You don't run that math again for a year. Level 3, $58,000 a year. You upgrade. Not because the Civic broke, it didn't, but because a coworker pulled into the lot in something new, and you spent the rest of that week thinking about it without meaning to. You trade it in. The dealer gives you $8,200 for a car you still owe $9,100 on. Negative equity rolled quietly into the new loan without anyone using that phrase out loud. The new truck is $42,000. Your payment is $640 a month for 72 months. 72. You don't say the number to yourself in full sentences because full sentences make it real. You tell people it's basically $600. It is not basically $600. You will be paying for this truck the year your kid turns 9, if you have a kid, if you're still in this job, if nothing else happens between now and then. Nothing else always happens. Level 4, $85,000 a year. The truck payment doesn't scare you anymore. It's just a line item now, wedged between the mortgage and the daycare bill, indistinguishable in weight from either. You lease this time, a decision you actually researched, spreadsheets and residual values and mileage caps compared across 3 brands. A colleague asked why you'd rather rent a car forever than own one outright someday. You don't have a clean answer. The truth is you like the reset button. Every 3 years, a version of you that owes nothing on this particular object, right before you sign the next lease and owe everything on the next one. Level 5, $140,000 a year. You pay cash for the first time. You watch him tap the signature line the way he always does, and you tell him you're paying outright. His energy changes in half a second. Not colder, just recalibrated, like a system updating your file in real time. The car is $61,000. You don't flinch writing the number. You do flinch quietly at how normal that felt. You feel something you don't say out loud. Not superiority, just distance. The kind that opens quietly and never closes back up. Level 6, $310,000 a year. 2 cars, both paid outright, one of them for your partner, who didn't ask for it and cried a little in the driveway, which embarrassed you both in a way neither of you mentioned again. You start thinking about cars the way you used to think about furniture. Does it fit the life? Not can you afford the life. A luxury SUV, $84,000, purchased in the same week you signed a lease renewal on your office space. Both transactions handled by the same accountant, neither one keeping you up at night. You trade in the old one for $31,000 and don't check whether that number was fair. Checking would mean the amount mattered enough to verify, and at this level, verifying feels like a habit you're supposed to have outgrown. Level 7, $780,000 a year. You don't go to dealerships anymore. A broker calls you. He specializes in acquiring specific vehicles for clients who don't want to sit in a showroom negotiating with a stranger in a polo shirt. He finds a car you mentioned once, at a dinner, in passing, the way you'd mention a restaurant you liked. 3 weeks later, it's parked in your garage. $210,000. You don't remember agreeing to a final price. You remember agreeing to want the car, and the price arrived attached to it like something that was always going to happen, regardless of what number showed up. Your accountant mentions the depreciation schedule and the tax treatment in the same breath he mentions your quarterly filing, folded into a conversation about a dozen other things that all cost more than most people's houses. You nod. You've stopped asking clarifying questions about numbers this size. Clarifying questions were a habit from a smaller version of your life, and you left habits behind you the same way you left cars behind you. Traded in quietly, without much ceremony. Double A, $4 million a year. You own 6 vehicles you can name and one you genuinely forget about until the insurance renewal reminds you it exists. None of them are financed. None of them were negotiated by you personally. A member of your staff handles registration, insurance, storage, rotation. Which car gets driven this month is a decision made for you, based on weather, based on which garage has space, based on logistics you have no visibility into and no interest in gaining. You test drove one of them for 4 minutes 18 months ago and haven't sat in it since. It's insured. It's detailed weekly. It exists entirely as an asset on a spreadsheet someone else maintains. Somewhere in that arrangement is a person doing the exact math you used to do at $9 an hour, gas by the $20, transmission repairs deferred, a hill you accelerate early for. Except now that math is happening on your behalf, invisible to you, the way your own hunger used to be invisible to everyone else. Somewhere right now, someone is sitting in a 2009 Corolla with 214,000 miles on it, listening for the sound that means today's the day. They accelerate early on the hill they've memorized. They put in $20 of gas because $20 is what fits. They don't know yet that the loan they can't get approved for today is the same loan that will one day be waived before they ask, offered before they want it, structured by someone else entirely. The car doesn't change. The person driving it does, and the bank, the dealership, the broker, none of them were ever grading the car. They were grading the number parked next to your name.